White Tiger, acrobatic ninja with steel claws and cat powers.
What are you guys doing here? I had them on the run.
Except for the part where you didn't.
White Tiger is the newest superhero to join the MCU in Daredevil Born Again, and its comic book history might hint at what's next for the mantle. He was introduced as one of NYC's many vigilantes, which makes sense since the city is packed with superheroes. White Tiger was one of the latest to arrive, though also the quickest to go since he's already dead. But that's just the beginning of the White Tiger legacy. While many have carried the White Tiger mantle in Marvel Comics, Daredevil Born Again brings in the original, Hector Ayala, played by the late Camar de los Reyes. He passed away in 2023 after battling cancer before the show even premiered. The man delivered an incredible performance, and I'm sure he'd appreciate all the love he's getting online for his take on the character. Hector makes the first appearance in Episode 2, jumping in to stop two guys from beating someone up. But things go south fast, and one of them gets accidentally shoved in front of a subway train. Turns out they were undercover cops, landing Hector in some serious trouble. We get glimpses of White Tiger in action, but the first 3 episodes focus more on Hector's life outside of crime fighting. It really seemed like he was set to be a major player in the MCU, especially when Episode 3 ends with him being found not guilty in court. But just when it looks like he's getting a second chance, tragedy hits. Hector is shot and killed while back in action as White Tiger. His shocking death throws his future in the MCU into question, but the mantle could still live on in his name. The MCU has already set up a way for the White Tiger mantle to continue, but before we get into that, let's take a quick look at the character's history in Marvel Comics. White Tiger has been the name of multiple superheroes over the years. The first was Hector Ayala, created by writer Bill Mantlo and artist George Pérez. But he wasn't the only one. 4 others have carried the mantle after him. The second White Tiger was originally a white Bengal tigress who got mutated into a human woman of East Indian descent, thanks to the High Evolutionary. She was created to track down the Man-Beast, a villainous evolved wolf. Thanks to her feline instincts, she's got incredible speed, reflexes, and serious martial arts skills. During her adventures, she crosses paths with Iron Fist and becomes intrigued by him, leading her to join Heroes for Hire. She tries to keep her past a secret, but during a training session, she loses control and shifts back into her tiger form. As she adjusts to being human, she struggles with emotions that are way more complicated than anything she knew as a tiger, especially when she starts developing feelings for Iron Fist. Things take a turn when she sees Iron Fist showing interest in Misty Knight. In true tigress fashion, she attacks Misty to establish dominance, but in the end, capturing the Man-Beast doesn't bring her peace. Overwhelmed by heartbreak and feeling like she can never truly be with Iron Fist, she begs the High Evolutionary to turn her back into a tiger. He agrees and returns her to the rainforest, promising Iron Fist that she'll be where she belongs. Kevin Casper Cole, the third White Tiger, was created by Christopher Priest and Dan Frega. He's a police officer with Jewish and African American heritage who stumbles upon T'Challa's Black Panther suit and starts wearing it. But just rocking the costume isn't enough. Falcon tells him he needs to earn his place if he wants to make a real difference. Casper tries to get the same enhanced abilities as T'Challa by undergoing the Rite of Ascension, which requires consuming the heart-shaped herb. But Eric Killmonger offers him a shortcut, a synthetic version of the herb, along with help finding his boss Sal's missing son. The catch? Casper has to ditch the Black Panther identity, become a White Tiger of the Panther cult, and owe Killmonger a favor down the line. Casper takes the deal but uses his new super senses, plus help from Queen Divine Justice and Everett Ross, to locate the boy himself, reducing his debt to Killmonger. From there, he fully embraces the White Tiger mantle. As White Tiger, Casper works toward a promotion while teaming up with the Crew, a group of street-level heroes, to take on criminal organizations like 66 Bridges and Triage. His vibranium weave suit is bulletproof and can only be cut along the grain of its webbing. It also has special vibranium soles that absorb impact and sound, allowing him to leap off buildings, run up walls, and even walk on water. His claws, made of a unique anti-metal vibranium composite, can break down other metals, making him a formidable force on the streets. Angela Del Toro, the fourth White Tiger, was created by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maliev. She's the niece of the original White Tiger, Hector Ayala, and an ex-FBI agent who worked on the Daredevil case. After inheriting her uncle's Jade Tiger amulets, she leaves the FBI to figure out their true power. Daredevil steps in to train her, helping her master her new abilities. One of her first heroic acts is stopping a robbery, and the gratitude she receives from the shopkeeper makes her realize the impact she can have. She later saves Daredevil from a crime lord and his bodyguard, using the amulets to boost her speed and combat skills. Embracing her uncle's legacy, she officially becomes the new White Tiger. Her journey takes a dark turn when she's stabbed by Lady Bullseye and resurrected by the Hand, who control her until Black Tarantula helps free her from their influence. In 2006, she even got her own limited series written by Tamora Pierce. Later, the Maker gives Angela an alternate universe amulet, which she uses in a confrontation with Ava Ayala, the fifth White Tiger. When Ava loses the favor of her tiger god, Angela absorbs both of their powers, making her even stronger. And here's where things get interesting. The last few episodes of Daredevil Born Again have already hinted at a possible successor. Yep, we're talking about Hector Ayala's niece, Angela Del Toro, played by Camila Rodriguez. Before his death, Hector Ayala was living with his sister Ava Ayala and his niece Angela Del Toro. While working as a vigilante, he was also saving up to buy a house to rebuild his family life with his wife. Unfortunately, before he could make that dream a reality, he got caught up in a messy situation with corrupt cops. Though Matt Murdock managed to win his trial and get him out of jail, the corrupt officers weren't about to let it slide. They made sure Hector was killed. While it's unclear how his death impacted his wife, Angela was completely devastated. She struggled to understand how a so-called fair trial had done anything for Hector when the system still let him die. It enraged her to realize that the people in power who were supposed to uphold justice had no interest in fixing anything. She knew her uncle was innocent, yet corruption sealed his fate anyway. Her anger is summed up in a single line she tells Matt, "I hate this city. No one's doing anything about it, and no one's ever going to do anything about it." This moment makes it clear that Angela has a strong sense of justice, just like Hector. She understands why he became the White Tiger, and despite being young, carries enough anger to follow in his footsteps. Her love and respect for her uncle make it likely that she'll take on the White Tiger mantle, whether to get revenge or to honor his legacy. And with the bond already forming between her and Matt, it's likely that when she steps into the role, Daredevil will be there to guide her. For Angela to truly become the next White Tiger, she needs the amulet. It's what gave Hector his enhanced strength and speed by connecting him to the Tiger God. No matter how much anger or determination she has, she won't be able to fight corruption without that power. Luckily, Hector's belongings weren't taken by the police. Matt had them when he was speaking with Angela. And knowing Matt, he'd likely pass the White Tiger costume and amulet to the person closest to Hector, which at this point is Angela. However, she's still pretty young to take on the vigilante life, so it might take some time before we see her fully step into the role. That said, she's already been in dangerous situations, like getting captured by Muse, so she's definitely on that path. Angela's version of White Tiger had a compelling arc in the comics, but it's unclear if the MCU will follow that storyline or take a fresh approach. It's possible that we'll see Angela's character develop in Daredevil Born Again before she eventually gets her own project. Well, that's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be covering more updates on this soon, and other exciting upcoming movies and series. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.